Ravens have long been associated with darkness, an omen of doom and death. And they are the best friends of wolves. In addition to being seen as a harbinger of death and spooky Halloween decorations, crows are actually very intelligent, adaptable, and truly amazing creatures. It turns out that these beautiful and wise birds can do many things like a person. They use gestures when communicating with their relatives, know how to count, show patience, recognize their reflection in the mirror, and even remember friendly or hostile relationships for a long time. Let's take a closer look at these amazing birds. And also in this video you will learn about the unusual whale-head bird. Only one glance of this bird touches the soul. Take popcorn, sit back, subscribe to the channel, express your thoughts in the comments, and let's get started. First, let's talk about their relationship with wolves. Without a doubt, wolves are strong and smart enough to hunt alone. But thanks to their feathered friends, hunting becomes more interesting. In a recent study, crows were observed to mount prey immediately after it was killed by wolves. With the onset of winter, they sit down near the future victim and begin to croak loudly, calling the wolves and showing them the location of the prey. Perhaps that is why predators are quite loyal to the birds that feed with them. It is assumed that a pair of wolves gives almost 15% of the carcass to the crows. On the other hand, with 6 wolves, crows get only 5% of the carcass. While crows and wolves may seem like unfriendly companions, their relationship is mutually beneficial, even though the wolves seem to be doing the dirty work here. It makes sense for crows to follow the wolves and eat up the remains of the animals they killed. One crow can eat about 2 kilograms of carcass per day. Now imagine how much a few crows can eat. The duty of the ravens in this relationship is also to lead the wolves to the carcasses of animals which they cannot eat, since their beaks are not strong enough to pierce the bodies of dead animals. And when wolves are busy eating, crows can also warn them of suspicious sounds and potential danger. So such a mutually beneficial friendship between them exists. But whether this is 100% true is still unknown. Did you know that ravens can talk? Although it may seem that crows make a series of random sounds, these sounds are believed to contain meaning. In the wild, crows communicate with each other using a wide range of sound. They can express emotions such as tenderness, happiness, anger, and surprise. They can also warn each other of danger by clucking like chickens and chirping when ready to fight. They have a certain sound they use when talking about meat. Each of the social groups has their own dialect. In captivity, crows can learn to speak better than many parrots. Human speech isn't the only thing these guys can imitate. Crows are able to imitate wolves, which comes in handy when trying to lead them to carcasses that crows cannot rip apart on their own. They also imitate other birds, garbage trucks, and toilet kegs. People have always known that ravens are smart. There is nothing new here. But we're only beginning to understand how smart scavengers are. It is believed that the intelligence of ravens is so developed that it can be compared with the human. Studies conducted by American scientists have shown that crows are able to easily solve logical problems of the level of development of a 5-year-old child. The crow family, of which ravens are a part, also includes ravens, magpies, jays, and jackdaws. All birds in this family are considered among the most intelligent in the world. A study published in Science in 2002 showed that the New Caledonian crow can bend a piece of wire into a hook to extract food from a narrow space. The same task was set before small children, and they could not show the same ingenuity as our feathered friends. The harsh black appearance of this bird does not mean that they do not like to have fun. Wallowing in the snow, playing with the whole animal world, this is what they like. Crows are very intelligent. So with an impending danger for their children, they can throw stones from their nests directly at people so that they no longer walked under a tree. Blackbirds are monogamous in nature. Growing up and leaving the parental home, they huddle with females and look for their soulmate. And as soon as their partner is found, they live together until the end of their days. The period that this bird can live varies from 17 to 40 years. It all depends on what the conditions are. If captivity awaits it, then it is there that it will live the longest. By the way, life in captivity helps the raven develop speech abilities.
How are you? How are you?
So in this way, it will live for 40 years and talk like an adult parrot. Or even better. Ravens are very freedom-loving birds. However, being in captivity, they get used to the one who cares for them. In turn, these blackbirds show awe and tenderness for such a person. And if an enemy appears on the horizon, they rage and shout loudly. And also, do you know why our first association about these birds is death and asymmetry? These creatures feed on carrion. Let's even say this: this food is one of their favorites. Our story about the crow ends here. And now we would like to introduce you to another interesting bird, the shoebill. Who is shoebill or whalehead, and why does it look straight into the soul? At first glance, the shoebill can win your heart with its charm or scare you with its menacing gaze and large beak with a sharp hook. Shoebill differs from most birds in the location of the eyes. Its golden eyes are in the front of the head and not on both sides of the skull, as in the vast majority of birds. This feature gives the royal heron all the delights of binocular vision. That is, the shoebill sees the world in 3-dimensional. Royal herons are perfectly adapted to life in swamps. Moreover, they deservedly have a reputation of an excellent predator. While tracking and waiting for the victim, the bird is able to freeze and spend long hours without moving, staring into space with an unblinking, murderous look. This bird is distinguished not only by incredible patience, but also by a swift reaction. Thanks to long paws with widely spaced fingers, the shoebill easily moves along the marshy soil so that upon seeing potential prey, it immediately rushes after it. The growth of an adult is about 120 centimeters with a weight of 4 to 7 kilograms, and the wingspan exceeds 2 meters. Together with a look straight into the soul and a giant beak, a bird of this size really is a menacing sight. In addition, this bird is able to make sounds that exactly imitate the chirping of the predator. From the famous series of fantastic films about alien hunters. In the wild, the offspring of shoebills are very few in number. In captivity, the situation is even worse. Over the past 100 years, only 2 chickens have hatched and survived in zoos. The rarity of the bird has made it a coveted black market item. According to statistics from the National Audubon Society, private collectors in Dubai and Saudi Arabia are willing to pay more than $10,000 for a living shoebill. In addition, for many African tribes, the shoebill has long been considered a harbinger of misfortune. Therefore, for hundreds of years, they cleansed the earth of filth, purposefully exterminating these amazing birds. What can be said about this? The ignorance of mankind will destroy not only the planet but also the man himself. Dear friends, we hope you liked our video and enjoyed watching it. Stay with us because soon we will show you a lot of interesting things.